Welcome, brave souls, to World Folktale Treasure. I'm your guide through the mists of time, and today, we embark on an epic journey into the legend of King Arthur. Prepare yourselves for a tale of magic, heroism, love, and tragedy that has captivated hearts for centuries. But before we dive into this timeless story, make sure you're prepared for the adventure ahead. Hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. Trust me, you won't want to miss a single story from our treasure trove of world folklore. Our story begins in a time of chaos and despair. The land of Britain was without a king, leaderless and fractured by war. Rival lords vied for power, and the people were left to suffer in uncertainty. But hope lingered in the most unexpected of places, a simple stone, set in the heart of a sacred courtyard. This stone bore a sword unlike any other. Its hilt was decorated with intricate runes, shimmering under the sun, and the blade gleamed with an ethereal light. Upon the sword was inscribed a prophecy: "Whosoever pulls the sword from the stone shall be the rightful king of England." Knights, kings, and men of great strength came from across the land to claim the sword, but none could move it. Days turned to months, and soon, the sword in the stone was thought to be an impossible feat, destined to remain where it was forever. But fate had other plans. One day, a young squire named Arthur, who had been raised in the care of Sir Ector, a noble knight, stumbled upon the sword while searching for a weapon for his foster brother, Kay. With a heart as pure as the dawn and without the burden of ambition, Arthur placed his hand on the hilt. To his surprise, and to the amazement of those around him, the sword slid smoothly from the stone as if it had been waiting for him all along. In that moment, the sky seemed to brighten, and the ground beneath Arthur's feet trembled as though the world itself acknowledged the fulfillment of the ancient prophecy. People gathered, their voices hushed, and one whispered word spread among them like wildfire. Soon after, the boy who had known nothing of royalty or grandeur was crowned King Arthur, rightful ruler of Britain. His coronation was unlike any seen before, filled with magic and awe. Nobles from distant lands came to witness the rise of this unknown king, but not everyone believed in the boy's potential. Many doubted his ability to rule, believing him too young, too untested. But Arthur, humble and kind, had something greater than experience. He had destiny on his side. Upon ascending the throne, Arthur vowed to create a kingdom where justice, honor, and equality would flourish. He envisioned a realm where might would not make right, and where noble knights would serve not for glory, but for the people. To achieve this, Arthur sought out the wisest and most valiant knights from all corners of the land. He formed a fellowship that would become legendary, the Knights of the Round Table. Each knight swore an oath of loyalty and courage, pledging to defend the weak and uphold justice. The table itself, crafted in perfect symmetry, symbolized the equality of its members, for no one knight, not even the king, sat higher than the others. Among them were the mighty Lancelot, unmatched in strength and bravery; Sir Gawain, known for his unwavering loyalty; Sir Percival, pure-hearted and fearless; and many more whose names would echo through the ages. Under King Arthur's leadership, Camelot, his shining capital, became a beacon of hope in a troubled world. Its towers rose toward the heavens, and its walls shimmered with the brilliance of justice. Peace flourished, and for a time, all was well in the land of King Arthur. But even a king as wise and noble as Arthur could not rule alone. Beside him stood a man of mystery and magic, the legendary sorcerer Merlin. Merlin, with his long white beard and eyes that held the secrets of the universe, was more than just a counselor to the king. He was the architect of Arthur's rise, the keeper of ancient knowledge, and the protector of Britain's future. Merlin's powers were vast, his wisdom unmatched. He had lived for centuries, some said, and could summon the very forces of nature with a whisper. Through his teachings, Arthur learned the art of leadership and the dangers that awaited those in power. But Merlin's greatest gift was his foresight, the ability to see what was yet to come. Often, Merlin would vanish into the mists, disappearing for days, even weeks. He would return with cryptic warnings or advice, always foreseeing dangers long before they arrived. It was through his magic that Arthur was able to navigate the treacherous waters of kingship, avoiding plots and pitfalls that could have brought his reign to an early end. Yet even Merlin, with all his power, could not change the course of fate forever. He knew that darkness was on the horizon, and despite his efforts, some destinies could not be altered. As Camelot flourished, the hearts of the knights yearned for adventure, for a quest worthy of their legendary names. It was then that a vision appeared before them, a vision of the Holy Grail, a sacred cup said to possess the power of eternal life, hidden somewhere in the farthest reaches of the land. The search for the Holy Grail became the greatest quest of the Knights of the Round Table. It was not just a search for an artifact, but a test of their virtue, bravery, and faith. Each knight set out on his own journey, facing trials that pushed them to their limits, both in body and in spirit. Sir Galahad, the purest of heart, led the way, for only a soul free from sin could hope to find the Grail. His journey took him through enchanted forests, across desolate wastelands, and into the heart of ancient ruins. Along the way, he faced monstrous creatures, temptations, and dangers beyond imagining. Many knights would not return from this quest. Some were lost to the darkness within themselves, others to the perils of the road. But those who remained steadfast in their quest were forever changed, touched by the divine light of the Grail. Though few ever laid eyes on the Holy Grail, its pursuit became a symbol of the knight's greatest virtues, courage, honor, and the unyielding pursuit of a higher purpose. But even the greatest of kingdoms can fall. Within the walls of Camelot, a tragic secret began to unravel. Sir Lancelot, the most trusted of Arthur's knights, had fallen deeply in love with Queen Guinevere, Arthur's beloved wife. Their forbidden romance, born of passion and sorrow, grew in the shadows of Camelot. Though neither Lancelot nor Guinevere wished to betray their king, their hearts could not resist the pull of destiny. Soon, whispers spread throughout the court. The bond that once held the Knights of the Round Table together began to fray. Trust turned to suspicion, and loyalty to betrayal. When Arthur learned of the affair, his heart broke, not just for the loss of his queen, but for the brotherhood that had been shattered. The betrayal poisoned the very soul of Camelot, and soon, the kingdom began to crumble from within. And so, the time came when the land would face its greatest trial. On the plains of Camlan, the final battle between King Arthur and his own son, the twisted and vengeful Mordred, began. Born of deceit and hatred, Mordred sought to claim Arthur's throne and end the legacy of Camelot. The sky darkened with storm clouds as the two armies clashed in a battle that shook the earth. The clang of swords rang out like thunder, and the cries of men filled the air. Arthur fought with all the strength of a true king, his legendary sword, Excalibur, flashing in the dim light. In the heat of battle, Arthur and Mordred met face to face. The two fought with unmatched fury, and in the end, Arthur struck Mordred down with a devastating blow. But it was not without cost. Arthur himself had been mortally wounded. As he lay dying on the battlefield, the wind whispered through the grass, and the world seemed to mourn the loss of its greatest king. With his final breath, Arthur commanded his last loyal knight, Sir Bedivere, to return Excalibur to the Lady of the Lake from whom it had come. Reluctantly, Bedivere carried the sword to the edge of a shimmering lake. As he cast Excalibur into the waters, a mysterious hand, clad in white silk, rose from the depths, catching the sword and pulling it beneath the surface, never to be seen again. Arthur was taken to the Isle of Avalon, a place of myth and legend, where it is said he will sleep until Britain needs him once more. His body may have left this world, but his spirit lives on in the hearts of the people. The legend of King Arthur is not just a tale of a man, but a symbol of hope, justice, and the enduring power of destiny. As long as his story is told, Arthur remains, waiting to rise again when the land calls for its king. And so, the tale of King Arthur lives on. In our stories, in our hearts, and now, in your YouTube Watch History. If this legendary journey has left you craving more epic tales, you know what to do. Smash that like button, share this video with a friend who needs a little magic in their life, and don't forget to subscribe to World Folktale Treasure. Who knows? Maybe King Arthur is out there right now, watching this video and waiting for the right moment to return. Until then, Keep the legend alive.